Hey and welcome to my channel. In this video today we're going to be looking at the ProSim 6-speed H-pattern shifter. I'm going to be doing a quick rundown on the shifter itself, what I think of it, my thoughts, how it mounts. So let's get into today's video. So here we are guys, the ProSim H-pattern shifter, 6-speed with a reverse. As you can see, I've got it mounted up on my rig on some aluminium extrusion, and what I've done is I've actually used some gusset brackets to mount it. It can be quite difficult to mount, but you know, this is why we use this aluminium extrusion. So that we can adapt to it. You can easily get things to fit with bracketry, you know, clamps and things. So I mean, I don't even run one on the back, I just run 3 because it's, you know, as you can see, it's solid enough. It doesn't go anywhere. I've actually made a little 3D printed mount, just a magnet, and I put my phone on that, just because I'm never going to use the lockout kit. Now, they sell a lockout kit on the ProSim website, and it allows you to put this like device on, and it goes onto the shaft on the back, and it's designed so when you depress the clutch, it lets you change gear. If you don't depress the clutch, it won't let you change gear like it would in like a dog box type gearbox. So I'm quite happy with this shifter. I looked at these years ago on the internet, and I instantly wanted one because at the time it was the only one that was really decent on the market. Obviously now we've got the BD8 shifter, which in my opinion is on par with this in terms of the shifter itself. In terms of money, this is nearly double. In the UK I paid approximately £1,445 for this with the VAT, so it was quite expensive, but again, you know, you're paying for something that gives you good immersion. The quality is very good. There's a few little things that I'm not really happy with about it, but they're nothing major. They're not something I'd obviously complain about, because one, I've got the gearbox really in the wrong orientation. Really, it wants to be 180 degrees round, so that this is the front and then this is at the back, and I wouldn't have this problem. The detent, which is the adjuster here, the ball detent and the spring, that's to adjust the tension. That would be on this side, but obviously then this will be on that side, but it wouldn't really affect it. It's just that this can be a little bit sharp here. It's not too bad, but it's just a little bit sharp. Could have done with like deburring. And then this edge plate here, it's quite sharp, but again, if it was the other way around, this wouldn't be an issue, but it's just for my setup and how I've got it. And the height of the gearbox, as I've got it now, I like it there, so when I'm, you know, changing gear, I do a lot of drifting, and I find this gearbox very nice for drifting because it feels very much like, you know, like a saloon car, or, you know, sort of like your 180SX, your JZXs and stuff. It's got that sort of, you know, type of feel to it. But I like it there because when I'm drifting, obviously, I can reach for my handbrake, I can change gear back on my handbrake, and I just like the height of it. In fact, I'll put my drift wheel on right now for you, just so you can see exactly how high I have it. And as you can see, it's at a nice position where I can just reach off it and just grab the handbrake, get another gear up into third, back on handbrake and a clutch kick and so on. So yeah, this gearbox for drifting, it's very nice, give you a really good immersion. Obviously you can use it for other applications like rallying and racing as well, you know, maybe if you're racing like the old Audi Quattros, or, you know, something with this type of throw. I mean, I wouldn't really say it's a massive throw, you know, as you can see. You can turn the tension up, but I've got it so it sort of just selects a gear. And to get reverse, you just push down, pull across and into reverse. When you first get these, the spring does seem quite stiff, but after you've used it a few times, or if you crash quite a lot like I do, you're pretty much using reverse a lot. So yep, you can easily get reverse. So it's, you know, it's got the Perspex covers on the side, so you can see everything moving inside, the side to side, on the cam, the back and forth, and you can see the electrics. These rods down here are what pick up on the board, the sensor. So yeah, overall this shifter is a great bit of kit. Now, like I said, it is expensive, and other people will say that it's too much money to pay for something like this, but in my opinion, you pay for what you get. You know, you're getting the anodizing, you're getting the actual shifter itself with a mechanism. Someone's actually had to make it, design it. You're paying for the design side of things as well. And like I said, there is other shifters out there like the Fanatec, the Frex and stuff like that, but for me, I just wanted something that was going to feel very positive, this type of throw. Now, the BDH shifter, I know Dave from BDH personally, and I know what he's done and what effort he's gone into with that shifter, so I'm going to do a review on that. Now, I did have the original prototype, but I've actually give Dave it back purely because I said, I have this shifter sat on the shelf, which I did, just like I've got the ProSim sequential sat up there as well. And again, I'm going to doing a review on that. Now, I had this sat on the shelf, and I was using my other shifter, which is down there, which you can't see. And I said, there's no point me having this shifter sat here and you not having a shifter, because he's so busy building the BDH shifters for everyone. He didn't have a shifter himself, so it didn't seem ethical, if you like, to me to have it sat on the shelf with this while I was using a sequential, and him not having the actual BDH prototype, which he originally designed and gave to me for testing, when he could be using it himself. So that's the only reason why I haven't got that here at the moment, but I'm sure that Dave will be giving me another one when he gets time, or when he modifies it or does other things in the future to it to make it better. Whatever he may have planned for the future, I'm sure that I will be getting one to do a review, so I can do a side-by-side review, give my honest opinion, and talk. Even though I do know Dave personally, I will still give it an honest review, just like I am this. I wouldn't in any way or form say anything bad about this shifter. Like I said, there's only two little things that I've picked up on myself, but again, it's the wrong way around. Is it's a little bit sharp there and it's sharp on the corners. But again, if you had the shifter lower and the extension on, it wouldn't matter. So me being me, I wouldn't really say that's a complaint. It's just the two little things that I've picked up on, and that's it. So overall, the gear stick, it doesn't have much play in it. As you can see, it has some, you've got to have some sort of float like the BDH has. You know, the side to side, it returns back pretty easy. I did have to put some Loctite on this nut there because it did wind off, so I just took the cover off, just put a drip of Loctite on and just wound it up to where I felt like I wanted it. Not enough that you wouldn't be able to undo it again. Obviously, I've not used a super strength Loctite, just one that'll like hold it in place. You know, I could have used a Nylock nut, but that'd have mean stripping it all down and taking it apart. And I just thought for the side to side, there were not really any point in doing that, just for the fact that it's just for it to return. But again, you know, the gears in this, when you're rowing through them, it's nice. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then push down into reverse. I like it like this because I like my reverse down to the right. So obviously, this shifter, for when I'm using it at the moment, I'm using the Mark II Escorts a lot. I do a lot of like online racing with my friends. Me and Dave go on a lot, and I feel that the BDH shifter, when you're in something like the Mark II Escort, is more applicable and it has more immersion because it's a shorter throw and it's more of like a dog box feel. This is a very, like I said, is a very nice shifter, very solid, very well built. You can't take anything away from Quay from ProSim for what they've done here, but for me, when I'm in the Escort, I just feel like I'm changing gear in, you know, like I say, a saloon car, rather than just a quick short throw dog box that you'd get in an Escort, or some sort of, you know, track car, rally bred orientated vehicle like that. Again, I think Dave primarily developed the BDH shifter around the Mark II Escort dog box because it's one of his favourite cars, as I know. Well, it is his favourite car, and then I think it's the Mark 1. So, you know, I bought this while Dave was in development of the BDH, and one of the reasons why I wanted it is, one, I was on the waiting list for 2 years because obviously Dave had not even thought about constructing the BDH shifter back then, and also because a lot of people was asking Dave, what is it like compared to the ProSim? Now, Dave didn't have a ProSim, we'd never used a ProSim, so it's hard for him to determine. So I literally bought this, didn't say anything, I turned up and I said, there you go, now you can see what the ProSim feels like. You can literally have a feel of it, can compare it and see what you think. And he was obviously happy with that, because it's very hard to get your hands on these as well, like it is Dave's BDH, because it's just so hard for him to make them fast enough because of the demand. But, you know, like I said, can't take anything away from ProSim. It's its own gearbox in its own right. How it feels, I like it. You know, there's nothing wrong with it at all. Some people say that they're a little bit noisy, which I agree with, but I live in a detached house and this room's on the back as well, so it doesn't make too much noise, as you can tell. You can adjust the detent spring to make it quieter, but obviously you lose the feel. Now I've just got that so that it just pops into gear. It's just got a nice clunk. I don't see why people want it to the point where you've got to literally, you know, put all your arm and bang it. You want it to just feel like a gearbox, you know. Why would you want to have it at the point where it's not even feeling realistic, you know, so that you're literally, how tight does it go, and then, you know, struggling to get it in gear just seems silly. You know, you're going to struggle to make fast gear changes while racing, you're going to miss shift and so on. So I just thought I'd do a little talk about this today. I'm going to be talking about my other things as well, like the ProSim sequential. I'll be talking about my direct drive wheel, about the Stream Deck button box, about my PC build, about my gear indicator. I'm going to be talking about basically all the parts of my rig, my 4K monitors and so on. So stay tuned, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, hit that bell notification for all my future content, and I'll see you in the next one.